Hello, how good is your Spanish? Test yourself with this challenge of 100 basic words that will help you learn and improve. If you get more than 80% right, you're on an excellent learning path. If not, don't worry. What matters is to keep practicing. Are you ready? Let's begin. How do you say breakfast?
Desayuno.
How do you say tree?
Árbol.
How do you say yellow?
Amarillo.
How do you say tall?
Alto.
How do you say bread?
Pan.
How do you say nut?
Nuez.
How do you say house?
Casa.
How do you say water?
Agua.
How do you say cat?
Gato.
How do you say dog?
Perro.
How do you say school?
Escuela.
How do you say table?
Mesa.
How do you say chair?
Silla.
How do you say door?
Puerta.
How do you say window?
Ventana.
How do you say boy?
Niño.
Bye bye.
How do you say girl?
Niña.
How do you say sun?
Sol.
How do you say moon?
Luna.
How do you say sky?
Cielo.
How do you say star?
Estrella.
How do you say car?
Carro.
How do you say train?
Tren.
How do you say airplane?
Avión.
How do you say street?
Calle.
How do you say city?
Ciudad.
How do you say countryside?
Campo.
How do you say beach?
Playa.
How do you say mountain?
Montaña.
How do you say river?
Río.
How do you say lake?
Lago.
How do you say forest?
Bosque.
How do you say book?
Libro.
How do you say pencil?
Lápiz.
How do you say paper?
Papel.
How do you say phone?
Celular.
How do you say food?
Comida.
How do you say milk?
Leche.
How do you say sugar?
Azúcar.
How do you say salt?
Sal.
How do you say fruit?
Fruta.
How do you say vegetable?
Verdura.
How do you say friend?
Amigo.
How do you say family?
Familia.
How do you say work?
Trabajo.
How do you say money?
Dinero.
How do you say hand?
Mano.
How do you say foot?
Pie.
How do you say head?
Cabeza.
How do you say heart?
Corazón.
How do you say love?
Amor.
How do you say laugh?
Reír.
How do you say dream?
Dormir.
How do you say song?
Canción.
How do you say movie?
Película.
How do you say time?
Tiempo.
How do you say fast?
Rápido.
How do you say slow?
Lento.
How do you say hot?
Caliente.
How do you say cold?
Frío.
How do you say big?
Grande.
How do you say small?
Pequeño.
How do you say far?
Lejos.
How do you say near?
Cerca.
How do you say today?
Hoy.
How do you say tomorrow?
Mañana.
How do you say yesterday?
Ayer.
How do you say always?
Siempre.
How do you say never?
Nunca.
How do you say up?
Arriba.
How do you say down?
Abajo.
How do you say inside?
Dentro.
How do you say outside?
Afuera.
How do you say happy?
Feliz.
How do you say sad?
Triste.
How do you say angry?
Enojado.
How do you say clean?
Limpio.
How do you say dirty?
Sucio.
How do you say clear?
Claro.
How do you say dark?
Oscuro.
How do you say question?
Pregunta.
How do you say answer?
Respuesta.
How do you say voice?
Voz.
How do you say road?
Camino.
How do you say trip?
Viaje.
How do you say language?
Idioma.
How do you say fish?
Pescado.
How do you say meat?
Carne.
How do you say egg?
Huevo.
How do you say spoon?
Cuchara.
How do you say fork?
Tenedor.
How do you say knife?
Cuchillo.
How do you say plate?
Plato.
How do you say glass?
Vaso.
How do you say sofa?
Sofá.
How do you say bed?
Cama.
How do you say clothes?
Ropa.
How do you say shoe?
Zapato.
How do you say clock?
Reloj.
How do you say keyboard?
Teclado.
Would you like to keep learning? Just click on one of the next videos.